it's time to start adhering all of those little pieces of art that you've set aside. We're now going to adhere them to the big canvas. And what I want to say before we start adhering is that it's kind of fun to take a look at what you've picked out. Take a look at the big pieces, the little pieces, and maybe kind of, place them here and there. Give some thought to what might go where before you just start pasting, because we want to give thought and intention to that balance. So this is a really fun part of this lesson. Just go slow with it and take your time, okay? Now, a lot of the things that you have chosen might be on older paper. Some of the construction paper is harder to adhere than maybe just a plain white paper. So you're going to kind of come across those texture challenges. Some things might need a little bit more glue than others. You'll figure it out as we go. In terms of adhesive, there are a couple different adhesives that I would recommend here. The first one is a spray adhesive. It's a multi-purpose adhesive. And you just shake this up and spray it onto the canvas and then put your art on like that. The other option is a clear coat. This is a medium that I usually would use to put a clear coat over the top of a finished painting. You can use this as a glue as well. It's very similar to Mod Podge, so you don't have to use an expensive clear coat. We just want to make sure that we're getting our art down nice and flat, and we really want to make sure that whatever we're using is clear. It's not going to show up in any way. So I will go ahead and demonstrate both techniques here. I think for the most part, I will be using the spray adhesive because that's my preference. If you use this, you definitely want to be outdoors and wear a mask because it's stinky stuff, not good for our bodies. So let's go out in the backyard and we'll use some of that spray adhesive and get started. Start with the spray glue, and all you really need to do is spray on the canvas and then press down your piece. Let me go ahead and get my mask on before I start. And the other way, like I was saying, you can take a clear coat and a paintbrush. So then you just use your paintbrush, paint on your clear coat. Same thing with a Mod Podge, it's like a clear glue. And you can see this process takes a little bit longer. And then usually with this method, you want to then go over the top to seal it in. You can use this for any corners that might be sticking up. Later on in the process, if there's something that's not sticking, like if you're in layer 3 and it's like, gosh darn, that thing keeps popping up. This clear coat is a really great tool for that. Just get it real saturated and let it dry. Okay, so it's as easy as that. Remember to take your time here, have fun, give thought to putting heavier pieces somewhat evenly across the overall canvas and filling in other spots with the smaller pieces. So I've got most of the canvas covered, you'll see here. So you can see most of the canvas is covered, but there are spots that you can see still in the background. And we want those spots to be there. We want that canvas in the back to be able to breathe still. We don't want to completely cover it. We want to mostly cover it, but have those peeking things in there. To the back of the canvas needs to be peeking out a little bit here and there, okay? And you notice here how I've got the big fish, the big head, the big angel, and the big pine cone. And then everything else is kind of like, there's a little guy up here, so there's a little Valentine. There's a little guy here, a little guy here, a little guy here, and a little guy here. And so we've got, like right here, actually, I just stuck this in here, one of the last things, because this was all open. And I do want open space. We don't want to cover it completely, but that was too much open. So putting this little guy in there, you know, covers it mostly. And then I have taken that glue and put some pieces on the side. And I know they're not sticking completely right now. I might end up just, you know, cutting this here. This will end up getting another coat over it. So this is our first layer. It's not super neat, but we're getting our bones in. This is just our first layer. We're getting the weighted things down where they need to be, the heavier things, and the lighter things where they want to be. And really, what it boils down to is what makes your eye happy. You might not like where I put that little tiger guy right there, right? He's got the puppies. But what if you don't like that? What if you're like, oh, why'd you put it there? Well, then you don't have to put it there. You do you. Do what feels right to you, okay? So we're gonna let this dry for a little bit. It's pretty stinky, so I don't wanna bring it in the house quite yet. But I'm going to go ahead and keep some of these pieces that didn't make it in to the painting yet. I'm going to keep them set aside because I may end up putting something in later. So don't get rid of those little doodads. Check this out. Remember those trees that I love so much? Those never made it in, so they probably will before the end of the painting. So let this dry and air out, and then our next layer, we get to introduce some color and paint, all right? So we're gonna start thinking about what color schemes do we want to use. It's gonna be fun. So when you're ready, I'll see you in the next lesson. Namaste.